96 years, 22 tournaments, thousands of matches, and only a handful of moments that actually changed the sport itself. Not just great goals, not just dramatic results, moments so significant that football was genuinely different after they happened than before. In this video, we're counting down the 5 moments that did exactly that. Moments that shifted football's entire culture, its tactics, its mythology, or its biggest unanswered questions. Some of these you'll know well. One of them might surprise you with just how far its impact actually reached. Let's start at number 5. Number 5. The Maracanazo. Brazil versus Uruguay, 1950. Brazil were hosting. Brazil were unbeaten. Brazil needed only a draw in the final match to win their first World Cup in front of nearly 200,000 fans at the brand new Maracana Stadium. Uruguay won 2-1. The stadium fell into complete silence. Brazilian playwright Nelson Rodrigues later called it the nation's Hiroshima, an admittedly extreme comparison, but one that tells you everything about the psychological scar this match left. Why does this moment make the list? Because it fundamentally changed Brazilian football. After 1950, Brazil discarded their white home jersey, considered cursed, and adopted the iconic yellow and green you know today. They rebuilt their entire football culture around never letting that feeling happen again. 8 years later, with a 17-year-old named Pelé, they won their first title. The Maracanazo wasn't just a loss. It was the origin story of the most successful footballing nation in history. Number 4. And this is really 2 moments in one match, 4 minutes apart by the same player. Argentina versus England, 1986 quarterfinal. Diego Maradona leaps above goalkeeper Peter Shilton and punches the ball into the net. The referee doesn't see it. Goal stands. Maradona later said it was a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. 4 minutes later, he picks up the ball in his own half and dribbles past 5 England players over nearly 60 meters of pitch before slotting it past the keeper. It is still, to this day, voted the greatest individual goal in World Cup history. Why this moment changed football forever? It captured, in a single match, everything football can be: controversial, unfair, transcendent, and breathtakingly beautiful. It's the moment that turned Maradona from a great player into a mythological figure. Argentina won the tournament, and the debate about that handball still rages 40 years later. Number 3. The 1970 World Cup final, Brazil versus Italy, and the goal that ended it. Brazil were already up 3-1 in the 86th minute. The match basically decided. But what happened next is the reason this moment still gets shown in football academies 55 years later. Clodoaldo dribbles through 4 Italian players in his own half. The ball moves to Rivellino, to Jairzinho, to Pelé. Pelé, without even looking, rolls a perfectly weighted pass square into open space. And Captain Carlos Alberto arrives at full speed and smashes it into the bottom corner with the outside of his boot. 9 different Brazilian players touched the ball in that move. Eric Cantona once said he refused to accept that this goal was any less beautiful than the poetry of Rimbaud. Why it changed football forever. This single goal became the definition of the beautiful game. Jogo bonito. It's not about one genius dribbling past everyone. It's about an entire team moving like one mind. Every great possession-based team since, Spain's tiki-taka, Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, traces its philosophical roots back to this exact 35 seconds of football. Number 2. Berlin, 2006. The World Cup final. Zinedine Zidane's final match before retirement. Zidane had been brilliant all tournament. He opened the scoring in the final itself with an audacious Panenka penalty, chipped gently down the middle, supreme confidence. Then, in extra time, With the score level at 1-1, something happened that nobody saw coming. After an exchange of words with Italian defender Marco Materazzi, Zidane turned, walked a few paces, and headbutted Materazzi square in the chest. He was sent off immediately. France, down to 10 men in the dying minutes of their captain's final ever match, lost the resulting penalty shootout to Italy. The single most enduring image: Zidane walking past the World Cup trophy on a plinth on his way to the tunnel, never to play professional football again. Why this moment changed football forever. It remains the most discussed single act of indiscipline in the sport's history. It proved that even the most graceful, gifted players are human, capable of throwing away the perfect ending in a single moment of provocation and rage. 19 years later, we still don't know exactly what was said. And that mystery is part of why this moment never lets go of football's collective memory. Number 1. And honestly, there was no other choice. Qatar 2022. The World Cup final, Argentina versus France. Widely considered the greatest World Cup final ever played, Argentina led 2-0 with 20 minutes left. Then Kylian Mbappe scored twice in just 97 seconds to bring France level. Argentina went ahead again in extra time. Mbappe equalized again from the penalty spot, his third goal, completing a World Cup final hat-trick. The match finished 3-3. It went to penalties. Argentina won the shootout. Lionel Messi, 35 years old, playing his 5th World Cup, finally lifted the trophy after carrying the hopes of an entire nation for nearly 2 decades. He was given a traditional black Arab cloak called a bisht before the trophy presentation. The image of Messi wearing it while lifting the World Cup became one of the most iconic sports photographs ever. Why this moment changed football forever? Because it completed football's greatest unfinished story. Messi had won everything else: Ballon d'Ors, Champions Leagues, league titles. The World Cup was the only prize that had always escaped him. After December 18, 2022, that asterisk disappeared forever. A few moments that almost made this list and deserve a mention before we close. 1986, Maradona's overall tournament. 5 goals, 5 assists, essentially winning it alone. 1958, a 17-year-old Pelé scores twice in his first World Cup final, announcing the start of football's greatest career. 2014, Germany 7, Brazil 1. The most shocking scoreline in World Cup semifinal history. 2010, Iniesta's extra-time winner for Spain, crowning the tiki-taka era. 1994, Roberto Baggio's missed penalty, the most heartbreaking image of a World Cup final. 5 moments, 96 years. And the truth is, the 2026 World Cup happening right now is writing new ones every single week. Maybe it's a shock result from a team nobody expected. Maybe it's a young player announcing themselves the way Pelé did in 1958 or Mbappe did in 2018. We don't know yet. That's what makes it worth watching. Which of these 5 moments hit you hardest? Tell me in the comments. And if you think I left one out, I want to hear that too. Subscribe. We're covering this entire World Cup every week, all summer.